Giants promote two veterans for Week 4 vs. Cowboys, report. The New York Giants revealed their Week 4 practice squad elevations ahead of the matchup with the Dallas Cowboys. The New York Giants have finally submitted their practice squad elevations ahead of the Thursday night football clash with the NFC East rival Dallas Cowboys. The Giants elevated fullback/tight end Jacob Johnson and CB Duke Shelley for tonight's game against the Cowboys, ESPN beat reporter Jordan Raanan relayed on X. These roster moves were also confirmed by New York Daily News reporter Pat Leonard, among others. This is the fourth straight week that head coach Brian Daboll is choosing to utilize both of his practice squad elevations. Having said that, it's the first time that they've been spent on Johnson and Shelley. Johnson has seesawed on and off the 53-man roster since joining the organization. Big Blue has taken full advantage of his status as a vested veteran to circumvent certain financial obligations, as well as the possibility of losing a younger player on waivers. The fullback/tight end hybrid and core special teamer has already appeared in 2 games for the Giants this year, despite this being his first practice squad elevation. He expects to continue in his role on special teams in Week 4, having been utilized for 31 snaps already this season. Shelley will likely appear on special teams too, considering he's been a core ST player his entire career. However, the veteran DB could potentially factor in on the defensive side as well. The Giants will be short 2 cornerbacks against the Cowboys, rookie Drew Phillips and veteran Adoree Jackson. At the very least, Shelley will provide CB depth should anyone else get injured over the course of tonight's contest. Cowboys elevate former Jets D. Carl Lawson vs. Giants. On the opposite sideline, the Cowboys will be elevating veteran defensive end Carl Lawson, per The Athletic's John Machota, a pass rusher Giants fans might remember from his days with the Cincinnati Bengals and New York Jets. Dallas will also promote cornerback Amani Oruwariye using a game-day elevation. According to Pro Football Reference, this will be Lawson's second appearance of the season with the Cowboys. Although the former 8.5-sack rookie only took the field for a total of 9 snaps during his first bit of action. Pro Football Reference did not credit Lawson with any statistics over his 8 defensive snaps. Having said that, Lawson is always a danger to opposing quarterbacks, with 27.0 career sacks and 107 QB hits. This will be Oruwariye's first regular season appearance of 2024. The former Detroit Lions 5th-rounder has suited up for 54 NFL outings since 2019, recording 9 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries and 4 tackles for a loss over that span. Although Oruwariye has played on special teams throughout his career, he could see some snaps at cornerback on Thursday night as the Cowboys are likely without CB Kalen Carson, doubtful, shoulder. Within the Dallas secondary, safety Marquise Bell is also doubtful with an ankle injury. Typically, at least, over the first 3 weeks of the 2024 campaign, new NYG linebacker and core special teamer Ty Summers has been a fixture in the Giants' weekly elevations. Having already promoted Summers 3 times though, Big Blue had to sign him to their active roster ahead of Week 4. They did so on September 25. LB Ty Summers is being signed to the Giants' active roster, per source, Raanan informed on Wednesday morning. He was out of elevations after being activated from the practice squad for each of the first 3 games. New York also released Johnson briefly to make room for Summers, eventually signing the fullback to the practice squad in what was effectively a veteran swap. Both are expected to be out there tonight despite the roster gymnastics, with Johnson playing on the aforementioned game-day elevation. Sideline reporter on Cowboys HC Mike McCarthy, "He's just so lovely and sweet." Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy is lovely and sweet, according to one Fox Sports sideline reporter. After the Dallas Cowboys' 28-25 loss in Week 3 to the Baltimore Ravens, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy is a bit in the hot seat, and some voices are going so far to suggest McCarthy replacements, since he's in the final year of his contract. But McCarthy appears to have one supportive voice on the field in Fox Sports sideline reporter Erin Andrews. Speaking on her Calm Down podcast, Andrews shared a story about something McCarthy said to her after she interviewed him about the Cowboys' rough first half against the Ravens in Week 3. The Cowboys entered the locker room at halftime 21-6, so the team was in a tough spot when Andrews interviewed McCarthy. Erin Andrews, it's part of the job. On the September 23 episode of Calm Down, Andrews described her halftime interview with McCarthy. In terms of a team and on both sides of the ball struggling, that is where we kind of earn our money as sideline reporters and feel bad if you have a heart as a broadcaster, Andrews said. Yes, it's part of the job. It's why these guys are paid. That's when Andrews shared a heartfelt moment she had with McCarthy. But standing in the hallway waiting for Mike McCarthy to come out after he addressed his team and trying to stop the bleeding on both sides of the ball in that Ravens-Cowboys game, I looked at him as he walked out and I said, "Coach, I am so sorry," she said. And he goes, "Why are you sorry? This is your job." She added, "I loved him so much for that. He's just so lovely and sweet." The Cowboys turned things around in the second half, and quarterback Dak Prescott threw 2 touchdowns and ran for a third. Dallas was able to come from a 28-6 deficit to 28-25, but it wasn't quite enough to win it. Mike McCarthy, "Our house isn't where it needs to be right now." Speaking in a post-game press conference following the Ravens' loss on September 22, McCarthy was asked what he would want to tell Cowboys fans who are upset with the team's start to the season. "We're a work in progress," he said. "I get it. You love the fan support. I stood up in Week 1 and said the same thing. I didn't feel like we were anywhere close to where we needed to be in Week 1. We've clearly got some things that we're going to work on, and any time you struggle with a situation or a unit struggles, whether it's run offense or run defense, or pass protection and so forth. So, we need to clean our own house. Our house isn't where it needs to be right now." When asked about the team making a comeback, McCarthy replied, "It's something that doesn't show up in the playbook, in the scheme. The heart and soul of your football team and the ability to grow emotionally and having that experience." Later, he added, "The emotional part is where the real gold is. This end of the game can serve as well." Multiple replacement options for Cowboys HC Mike McCarthy emerge. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy is in the final year of his contract, and a bevy of replacement options are being suggested. Following the post-game blame game after the Dallas Cowboys' loss in Week 3 to the Baltimore Ravens, some names are being mentioned as possible replacement options for head coach Mike McCarthy. While former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick is a popular suggestion to fill McCarthy's shoes, a few other names are also being mentioned. Some candidates feel very obvious, while others are a bit under the radar, NFL writer and expert John Bueller of Fansided said in a September 23 feature naming 5 McCarthy replacement recommendations. Mike Vrabel knows how to build a great staff. McCarthy is in the final year of his contract, and with the Cowboys 1-2 heading into Week 4, some are ready for a change. It seems more and more likely that with each passing week that Mike McCarthy is not the long-term answer for the Dallas Cowboys at head coach, Bueller wrote, adding that it goes without saying that hiring him was a huge mistake. Yes, he can get his team ready to play during the regular season, but there was always a finite ceiling, especially during the NFC playoffs. Bueller's number 1 favorite is an under-the-radar candidate in former Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel. "Look, I don't care if he is labeled as a retread head coach," Bueller said. "Don't be stupid. Just hire Mike Vrabel, and thank me later." Bueller says Vrabel could be a top candidate for any number of marquee jobs, both in the NFL and in college, and names Ohio State another possibility for him, if Ryan Day falls short of expectations. When it comes to the Cowboys, Bueller says, Vrabel may be defensive-minded, but he knows how to build a great staff. more importantly, he would command a strong running game in Dallas, one that would get the absolute most out of Dallas Cowboys quarterback, Dak Prescott benefiting from it. He added, "Vrabel is the first head coach I would call." Belichick is often mentioned in McCarthy replacement chatter. We can argue whether or not Belichick, who will be 73 before the next season kicks off, is the right coach. What's hard to argue is that his leverage with Dallas has never been greater. Sports Illustrated's Randy Gertze wrote in a September 22 feature about Belichick possibly counting dollar signs after the Cowboys lost to the Ravens. Bueller names Belichick as a replacement possibility but has him at number 4 on the tally. While Belichick would, in theory, be the type of head coach that Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones would concede power to out of respect, is that really what the Cowboys want to do? Bueller asked. Even amid all of their high-profile, on-field struggles and big moments, Dallas has been able to draft well and develop its players. The Cowboys may pay a premium to retain their own guys in free agency, but team building has not been an issue. With that in mind, Bueller gives Belichick a hard pass but says that just because I do not love the fit does not mean the Cowboys will not consider hiring Belichick. Bueller also suggests looking at USC Trojans head coach Lincoln Riley, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and Houston Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick as McCarthy replacement options.